Hello YouTube, I'm Joanna, this is Tina, and we are Crafting with Tina. In today's episode, I'm going to show you how you can make a gift bag out of wrapping paper or any kind of decorative paper that you have on hand. What do you think about that, Tina? Let's get you in the shot so people can see your cuteness, huh? I think that she is asking for a treat. And she hasn't eaten too much today, so I'm going to give her her licky mat. There you go, sweetheart. Okay, so there's lots of reasons why you might choose to make a gift bag instead of buying one. Maybe you're just not at the store and you have like a funky shaped gift that's hard to wrap in a traditional way. Maybe you are at the store, but you don't really want to spend extra money on gift wrap. Or perhaps you just have some really cool wrapping paper or something coordinated that you want to do and that you have in mind, and you want to make a bag out of it. So it's pretty simple. I will show you how. The things that you will definitely need for this project are wrapping paper, the sturdier the better, scissors, and tape. So pretty basic. However, I'm also going to show you how you can kind of like zhuzh it up a little bit, how you can decorate it a little bit more. These are pinking shears, which give this nice, I'll show you up close, gives it this nice little zigzag look. That's something that people often use when they sew. Tina, are you done eating already? There's no way, Jose. Look at this little gremlin. We've got a little gremlin on our hands today, guys, so we better craft fast because I can sense her attention span is one place only, and that's the treats. There you go, girl. All right, some other things that you might like to use to decorate your bag would be ribbon. I chose the super fun sparkly ribbon. And I also like to have things on hand for when I'm wrapping to put on the gift, to dress it up a little bit. Got some little wands. Doesn't matter why. Kazoo. So, you know, kids can annoy their parents. Adults can annoy party goers. You give them a kazoo. Pencil, this rad pinwheel. What do you think of that, Tina? She's not so sure. So, I just like to keep these little cute things on hand. If I see something at the dollar store, dollar section in Target, thrift store, toy store, any store, that looks cute and teeny. Like I've got this little eraser, little puzzle cactus eraser. I just hang on to them, keep them in a bin behind me in the craft room, and that way when I go to wrap a present, I just have some different options to choose from and things I can use to coordinate with the paper. I love wrapping gifts, which is why I'm excited to show you guys how this is done today. With no further ado, let's get crafting. So here, we're gonna start with an example of, say, this little stuffed animal, which frankly Tina probably thinks is a toy for her to chew because it looks very similar to her toys. But that's an example of something that might be kind of hard to find a good way to wrap it or the right size bag for it. Great thing about this, we can sort of custom wrap a design. What do you think about it, Tina? So I have my gift here and I lay it on the paper to get an idea of the size of the paper I should cut out. I think I'm gonna have him maybe sit inside the bag and pop his little head out. So just kind of fold the paper over and think about how far would I need to cut in order for it to be completely wrapped around, and making sure you give yourself a little extra paper because you know, you want it to be, it's a bag, you know, so it's loose. There's a little bit of space. You're not trying to wrap it really, really tight. How high to do it? I would think, so here's a flamingo's bottom, flamingo bottom. Flamingo bottom. She likes that. Flamingo bottom. Here's the top of it. So maybe I want the bag to be a little bit over top of that. But then also we have to think about what's going to make the bottom of the bag and add a few inches there. So I'm going to guesstimate around this high for the bag we want. And it's just an estimate because when you make these bags, you start to get to the point where you can just eyeball it. And you also find sometimes if it ends up a little too tall, you can trim it shorter. Or, you know, if it ends up shorter than you expected, you find ways to work with it. So you want to get an idea with the gift that you're wrapping about how big you want it to be, but it doesn't have to be perfect by any means. Do you know that there's some more treats here, Tina? And that's why you're still being so fussy? Are you gonna leave me after these treats are gone? Are you gonna leave these nice viewers? I think she might leave us after these treats are gone. So while Tina continues to get the last little bit of morsels off of her Licky Mat treat, I'm gonna move this out of the way. And first thing we want to do is make a loop. You know, I'm wondering too, I'm seeing this pattern is about to line up very nicely. I might just go ahead and make that more intentional. It'll meet up there. It'll look really polished and profesh. And then, as you would expect, just run tape all the way along. And you know, when you're wrapping a gift, you don't usually need this much tape. Making a gift bag though, you really want it to be sturdy. So I run the tape all the way from one end to the other. And then sometimes to make it even nicer, let's see if you can see inside there. See how there's this little bit of paper that's kind of popping up? I'm also going to put a little tape on the inside too to keep that from popping up, and that's what's going to make it look sort of profesh. It's going to look like, hey, you know, maybe I actually purchased this somewhere and didn't just fashion it out of some tape and paper. It's the magic of crafting. You can create something bigger and better than what you started with. What do you think about it, Tina? Tina's into it. Alright, so this is what we have right now. Just like a little tube. You can kind of flatten it out because that'll make this next step easier. This next step, I'll flip this so you can see a little better. This is going to be the bottom of the bag. You fold it up about whatever width you want the bottom of the bag to be. So I want the bottom of the bag to have a couple inches width. Hold this little flamingo butt comfortably inside. Maybe even a little extra generous for the flamingo bottom. Flamingo bottom. And the next part, it's almost like origami. As you open this, you fold this in. I'll show that to you again. You kind of pop that out and fold it in. And if you're a kid and you're having a hard time with this step, maybe ask an adult, because it's kind of a motion they're probably used to. If they've wrapped a lot of gifts in their lifetime, they can help you out with that step. You'll end up with something that looks like this, and you're probably like, what the heck? What kind of silly thing have I just made? That doesn't look very good. And that's when you add this fold. Then you bring this side here, and that folds in. See that? This bag is starting to look more complete, guys. Of course, you need to secure it. I'm just using Scotch tape because it blends in. It's clear. I know, Tina. You never blend in. You always stand out. You're just a baby. You can also use fun things like decorative washi tape. Go crazy, you know? You're customizing it. Might as well. So now comes the fun part. Put your hand in there. And you'll see, it's starting to look more like a bag, guys. And then along these sides, kind of form it. I'm going to do a couple little crisp folds along the side to give it that boxy bag shape. Someone described this to me as, it's almost like you're folding, it's almost like you're wrapping a box, but there's no box inside of here. So if it makes it easier for you too, to visualize and do, you can find a box that would be the appropriate size, start wrapping, leave one end of it open, and then just take the box out and you will end up with a bag. So there is also another little hack. And I just like to kind of just reinforce and fold along some of these edges until it starts to look almost like, if you can imagine, a paper bag that you take to school. Although it's been so long since anybody's been in school, it's kind of hard to remember what that's like. All right, so what I have now, yeah, this will fit in there, but I think it's kind of too tall. The proportions are sort of silly looking to me, but that's why, you know, it makes sense to just make things a little bit extra big, and then you can always cut them down smaller. I might go more for something about that height. And what I'm doing is I'm just going to hold this flat, and I'm going to use my pinking shears. What do you think, Tina? She seems interested in the pinking shears. I'm going to use the pinking shears to give it a nice little zigzag effect across the top. Just cutting straight across. Pretty cute. Looks like I need to straighten that out a bit. You can also do some pretty cute things with little scallops. This bag's kind of small, so it might make it hard to do a scallop shape. So I may just leave this as it is, but just straightening it out ever so slightly because I noticed it wasn't flat across the top. All right, so looking pretty good, pretty good. I'm thinking, yeah, this looks pretty cute, but I think we could make it even cuter. So I like to add some handles. I'm gonna get this ribbon started. You're being so good, Tina, great job. She's being an excellent companion today. You can do either a handle that goes all the way across from side to side, or you could do two little handles on either side. I think it would be cute to do two handles on either side. So I'm going to cut this ribbon. You'll see I folded it over. Oops. I folded it over, and then I'm going to cut it again in the middle so that I get two evenly sized pieces of ribbon. Boom, even-ish. From here you can use tape to secure this. Oops, let me try to hold this in a way that makes sense. This is tricky, Tina. So you can use tape to secure this, or you can also use a stapler. I like to use a stapler because it's a little more heavy duty, a little more sturdy. However, if you don't have one on hand, tape will work. I mean, I don't know how much people really use the bags of the handles anyways. You usually just pass the gift to somebody. They're gonna see it, it's gonna look so amazing, they're gonna want to open it right away. Like, you don't need to worry about the handles being load bearing, as they say. That's an engineering term, architecture term there. Okay, there we go, stapled on a couple there. We'll do the other side, and of course, staples, they're sharp, so if you're not familiar with how to use a stapler, then consult your nearest adult. And if you're an adult and you're not familiar how to use one, I'm gonna say, like, congratulations. How did you do that? How did they live their whole lives without using a stapler, Tina? I don't even know. Like, you never had like a book report or office work? Sheesh. Whatever you did, like, teach me. Whoops. I'm gonna have to do another one of those. Tina, you distracted me with your little wines. Tina's a tricky one. She will make you think that everything's horrible, that she hasn't been fed, but as you can see, we just fed her, and this is a very well taken care of good little puppy. She just needs lots of attention, don't you, girl? All right, so it's looking cuter by the moment, I think. Let's put a little bit of tissue paper in here and put the present in there and see how it looks. Okay, so I've got some tissue paper here. Oh, here's a little something about tissue paper. I find that the best way to make it look really full and impressive is you take the sheet of paper and in the middle, you kind of pinch it like this. You pull down and it'll make like a little poof, and it looks quite professional. That seems to be our word for the day. All right, so I'm gonna pop this little guy, this little flamingo in here. You can put the tissue paper in before or after. I mean, you probably wrapped a gift before. I think you know how tissue paper works, right? All right. Just kind of fuss with that until it looks the way you want it. Because this is such a small gift and a small gift bag, I'm gonna do something a little out of the ordinary. I'm gonna trim this. And what the heck, why not use the pinking shears? That might be cute. And that way it'll give it a little nicer proportion so that this isn't just totally overwhelming everything. And what do you know? I was talking about how we don't have to worry about those handles being too sturdy, but here we go. I need to staple that again. I think you'll do a better job though if you're not trying to multitask the way I am. I think you can get the handles on the first try instead of having to do like 3 tries like I did. Yeah, and with gift wrapping, in my experience or my opinion, maximalism is great. The more swag you can put on there, the better. So yeah, let's just start putting some stuff on here, making it extra cute. Got this little wand would look great. Why the heck not? Like, who's gonna get a tiny wand and be like, oh, I wish that wasn't included in the gift? Like, it's whimsical. This little, okay, maybe I'm not a total maximalist. I think you still you still want to choose your favorite things that really complement each other. Pop the little pencil in there. Ooh, I have these gift tags. I think I should do a future episode showing you how I make them. One moment while I tend to little Miss Puppy. Okay, girl. You can go if you want. Okay. So in a future episode, I'd love to show you guys how to make these, people call them shaker tags. They're so cute. You can put any little things in there that you like. Sequins. I just put like a flower bead in this one. This one has strawberries. I had a lot of fun making these. This one's got like a little popsicle on it. Let's see. This one's got hearts. More flower beads. I mean, in my opinion, you can't go wrong making something where you just get to put a bunch of sparkles and gems inside. So if you want to see a future episode where I make one of these shaker tags, please comment. And it does require some extra special tools that I purchased. It's a little silly. I purchased them just so that I could make shaker tags because I love gift wrapping so much. But if that's something you're interested to see how that works, I will do a tutorial on it. You can see how they're made, and who knows, maybe you'll go out and buy the tools too because you love it so much. What the heck, you know? As long as we're going crazy with all kinds of decorations, I've got these little guys here. I'm gonna take one of these hot pink foily ones, pop it on the front. I mean, at this point, you practically don't even need an actual gift in there. You could put, you know, you put a rock in there, and I feel that you'd still show that you put it in effort because just look at how adorable that is. So this is made with a lot of colors that I guess people would probably consider feminine. You know, people usually think of pink as being a girly color. I like to think that anyone can enjoy this color. You don't have to be a girl to like pink. However, also gifts are all about the person that you're giving them to, so keep in mind what they might like. Yes, Tina? You want to hop up? So, if they would prefer some more like bright neon colors, if they love cats, that's when you get the cat wrapping paper out, you know? If they do like, you know, your blue colors, things that maybe are considered more traditionally masculine, whatever that means. Yeah, I guess what I'm trying to say is you do you. Make things you enjoy, make people happy, and I'm so glad that Tina came back because I think we are just wrapping up this episode of Crafting with Tina. Thanks for joining us today. Have a great day and we'll see you next time.